Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. I am here with the creator and writer of the hit web series Fumbling Through the Pieces. Take a look. Hang on one second. We're having some more technical difficulties.
There was nothing. Where's the fire? I could have used all this screaming in my class. I can't find Jessie.
What do you mean you don't know where Jessie is?
She's gone. Shari, have you seen her? Yeah, she just a minute ago. She said she was going to chill out, and why was that lady just staring at us? Oh, it's a client of mine, Rebecca, or Becky, or whoever the hell she's calling herself right now. Where could Jessie be? Oh, I'm sure she's fine. No, she's not. I'm sensing something.
No, I felt it too. That's why I came over. I mean, I was at a meeting listening to this juicy story, but I kept on hearing your voice, and
What was she saying?
Barb. It wasn't clear. It was a little fuzzy, so.
Were you, never mind. Don't you think she might have left a note for you? I just don't get it. I was in the middle of a reading, and all of a sudden Jessie started coming through. Oh my God, what if something's happened to her?
Calm down, okay?
Okay.
Just focus.
Okay. Wow, really? This is a change. I mean, the new voice of reason.
Shut up, Shara.
Well, who thought that Barb would ever explain?
Shut up, Shara.
Please welcome to the show, Julie A. Smith.
Hey.
Could you say that at all?
I'm sorry?
Could you say that at all? Could you see and hear it?
Yes, I did. I saw it. It's from season 1. Yeah.
Right. I think it was the finale of season 1 or something.
Yes.
I don't know why I like that scene. Diane Delano is hilarious in the show, so I think that's why I like the scene so much, because she's right there in it. So.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She's really funny. She's a very good friend of mine.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
You wrote the part for her, actually, didn't you?
I did. God, it's been so long now. But yeah, I wrote it. We were just hanging out. She was going through auditions. I said, I'm going to write something. It was actually a pilot script. And I was going to try to pitch it around. But, at that point, there weren't a lot of female-driven shows going, and there's so many now, which is really fabulous to see going on. So it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you wrote it, you didn't intend to make it a web series.
No.
Correct,
I did not. I was actually going to pitch it, and then I finally just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself, because I get stubborn that way. So.
Right. So where did the idea come
and then
from?
We ended up with a web series.
Yeah, but it's been very successful as a web series.
We've done well. We're very proud. We have a great cast, a great crew. I mean, down to everybody, the production assistants, everyone worked really hard to get 2 seasons. So
yeah, well,
I have a lot of gratitude and respect.
You mentioned the cast. You have a fabulous cast. I mean, you could not have planned it any better. And I know that you wrote Diane Delano's part. So did you have like a wish list for people that you wanted to be in the show beforehand, or did you just kind of happen as it went, or?
I was a huge One Life to Live fan. So I've always loved Hilary B. Smith. I think she's absolutely amazing. She's very talented. And so after Diane had worked with her on a show many moons ago, I think it was called Acting Sheriff. It was a pilot with Robert Goulet that was in it. And so they had worked together. So I just reached out, through a friend of hers, found a friend of hers, and got her the script. And it all just kind of fell into place beautifully. And the rest I didn't know everybody else. Everyone found everybody. Robert was introduced to me, then he brought Tara. Another friend of mine brought Kitty. And for the first season, I worked with Kelsey. So that was already there, and it just kind of all came together effortlessly. So I think when you're doing something right, everything just kind of falls together beautifully.
Right.
Okay, we can breathe now. We can continue forward.
Yeah. Well, and then the second season, you got to work with Michelle Lee. So, I mean, how was that? I mean, hello, not slandering anybody that...
adore Michelle. I reached out to her agent, sent the script over there, and she said yes. And I was like, oh, wow. You know, I mean, grew up watching Knots Landing. It was so funny. My sister and I were talking, and she's like, you know, when you were a little girl and you used to watch Knots Landing? I'm like, well, I wasn't that. I mean, I was young. And I said, yeah. She goes, you always said you want to be Michelle Lee's friend. And I said, oh, my God, that's her. I said that a lot. Who knew? You know what I mean?
Right.
She's just fabulous. Fabulous.
Yeah, she seems like she would be a lot of fun to work with.
She is, and she's a pro, and she can, you know, a lot of people forget, it's like Knots Landing, but she actually, as a singer, she's a Broadway star. You know, this is where she starts.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's amazing to be in that type of presence of a person who is so, she's huge, and she's so amazingly talented. Yeah, I could just keep gushing about her because I adore her. Yeah,
well, she's awesome. I mean, you know, I grew up watching Knots Landing too, so, I mean, who didn't love her on that show?
Pollyanna speech, right?
Yeah. So did you, I read something that said that you named the character after your mother. Is that true? Named Michelle's character?
Yes. Yeah. Eleanor was my mother's name, and so Ellie is kind of Eleanor, a shortened version of Ellie. Yeah. My mom passed away when I was 8 years old of breast cancer. And so I always try to make sure that I have, she was only 45, very young herself.
That's really young,
So I always try to make sure, I have some part of her in anything that I'm doing. Yeah. Whether it's a character of her age or something, that it's like my respect that I pay for her in everything I do.
That's really nice. It's good that you did that. I'm sure it makes you feel closer to your mother from doing that, so.
See, I'm thinking about you still. I know it's been a while, you know. Yeah.
Well, and your dad, I think that you must have paid homage to him in a couple of episodes because the guy that played Jason, the character Jason, was a clown. When it was going to college, and I know that your dad was a clown.
Well, someone's done some research, huh? Yeah. And clowns freak me out.
Yeah, clowns really do freak you out.
Yeah, they do. I mean, there's something creepy. I guess it did it for me. It really did.
It was a really creepy movie. Yeah, I think that is why everyone has a fear of clowns now. That movie was really freaky. But yeah, I'm
Stephen
surprised.
King.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're scared of clowns though, with your dad having been one. Did he have? What was his clown name?
Unfortunately, my father passed away when I was 3, so I didn't really know my dad.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get to experience all those things with him. And no, it was many moons ago. So yeah.
Right.
But that was just me paying him his due too as well.
Yeah. Well, that's really nice. I also read that he was a masseur and he massaged Bob Hope's back. Is that true?
That's true. I guess I can remember back pretty far when I was a kid. I was probably about 2. We went to Bob Hope's house with my mom and him, and he was taking us to introduce them, but we couldn't. He was doing an interview, so we didn't get a chance to meet him. Yeah.
Wow. That's. I mean, you have quite the family history. When I was researching you, I was like, wow, she's got so much material to work with here. If she ever wants to write something, you know, besides Fumbling, that's, you know, about her family. So, yeah, and your grandmother, she has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, she's a silent screen actress.
Yeah.
I take the back route. I like the writing.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive from what I read about her. I did a little bit of background research on her as well, and I read something that she was, like, retired as, like, the or one of the wealthiest women in Hollywood. Is that true?
No.
No?
No. Unfortunately, no.
I read that and I was like, wow.
Yeah. No. It's a lot of the stories back then were also a lot of fabrications and things that happened. So
yeah,
it was a different time. There was no TMZ at the time, so you know.
Right, exactly. No internet, none of that.
Exactly.
you started writing Fumbling Through the Pieces long before you ever thought to make it a web series. So where did the idea for the script come about?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I wonder where the ideas come from sometimes. But for me, as a writer, I always develop the character first. The characters to me are the ones that are going to make the show what it is. And
Right.
for me, I just kind of took my own personality in ways and just spliced certain things and then just kind of embellished on those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started coming up with a whole scenario how I wanted to have something based out here in Los Angeles as far as a sitcom, because a lot of them are not based. So I was like, deal with. I mean, it's crazy out here. We might as well have fun with all the antics that happen out here. So, and I just went from there. And I worked at the Drew Carey Show at that time, so I was working on a sitcom, and I was watching and learning as much as I possibly could learn. And I was writing the show as I was working for the Drew Carey Show. And like I said, it sat around collecting dust for a while until I finally actually made it happen.
Yeah. So, you worked I read that too, that you worked on the Drew Carey Show, and you actually worked with Cynthia Watros during that time.
I did, yeah.
I love her. I mean, anyone who's a soap opera fan remembers her as Annie Dutton on Guiding Lights, so. What was she?
Amazing, and it would be her and Ryan Stiles and I and another friend of mine, Ronnie, would just kind of hang outside during takes and this and that and waiting for the next, it's like hurry up and wait. So she's really sweet and kind, very, very nice lady. Yeah.
Seems like she would be. Well, I love the, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I said unfortunately I got to work with her for a year because I left the show to go work with Jerry Cohen, but yeah, she's just awesome.
You did a lot of behind the scenes work. From what I read. So did you learn anything from those experiences that helped you when you finally decided to make Fumbling a web series?
The wonderful thing about that is I knew what I needed. I knew exactly what I was going to need in place of script supervisors and people that I need to make my life easy as far as getting stuff done. Of course, it's a skeleton crew compared to a big show where there's hundreds of people running around and I'm wearing lots of hats.
Yeah.
But it was nice to at least have the knowledge, and I came back also from a theater. I did theater many moons ago when I was younger, so I just kind of put all my resources that I've done, I just kind of threw in. And I'm glad I've done it. I'd rather have gone through all this to know exactly what I need, and doing season 1 and season 2 of Fumbling taught me exactly how to run a show, because then you're thrown into everything, and you just sink or you swim.
Yeah, well, you definitely did your work on Fumbling, and I know that you had planned on doing. You're taking a break right now, and I know that you had planned on doing seasons 3 and 4, and then wrapping it up. So, are you still planning to do that, or?
I am planning to do that. I wrote another pilot script that we're pitching right now, and I'm working on a theater project right now. It's a screenplay that I brought another writing partner in, and we're gonna adapt it to a play. So I've just been writing a lot.
Yeah.
And just trying to get some more work out there.
Yeah.
I love fumbling, but I want to make sure that, I can do other things besides fumbling. I don't want to get caught in that trap of, she could just do one thing,
Yeah. Well, and if you're going to do a web series, they, so far at least, typically don't have that many seasons. So, there's, I think 4 or 5 is the longest I've ever seen. I know there's hundreds of thousands out there, but most of them don't have a very long shelf life. So, yeah, it's good that you're...
It comes down to money. I think it really does, because you're crowdfunding, but you also have to pay people, and you have to, I pay everyone gets paid on my crew. So I want to, it's going to take, to shoot a season of a show like Fumbling, it's $20,000 to $30,000 to shoot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it gets expensive fast, I would imagine. So.
They have that kind of money. It would be nice, but no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know a lot of web series they can't afford to pay their cast and crew, but yeah, I mean it's. And you can't exactly ask people to keep giving you money for it, so I guess that's why there's not that many web series that have a lot of seasons. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love the theme song for Fumbling, and Donna Hurst wrote the theme song. It's so catchy, and she also co-wrote some of the episodes, so I want to give her a little nod there
Yes.
for that, because I think the theme song's perfect. It
Absolutely.
fits perfect with the show. I think it sets the tone for the entire show. So, let's see.
Absolutely.
Trying to remember what else I was going to ask you. You worked behind the scenes for a while, and then you tried the acting thing for a while too. So, did you? I guess you learned some from that you were able to transfer onto Fumbling as well. So, do you feel more creatively fulfilled now
Right.
doing the behind the scenes writing and that sort of thing than you did doing the acting?
Yeah, I think you learn the layers of things, and I think once you've acted and you're writing, there's layers and layers of characters, and to be able to paint a canvas for you to watch and actually make it real.
Mm-hmm.
I credit just from doing so many things in this industry that there's a truth. Everyone has a truth. My truth is different from your truth, and that's how I develop characters. Everyone has their own truth.
Yeah.
And
So you're kind of unknowingly doing
research. My voice.
Yeah, you were unknowingly doing research with all these other jobs that you had before Fumbling and before writing these other pilots and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. It's fun. I don't know. There's something about creating something makes me really excited.
Yeah, and you grew up watching soap operas, so I'm sure that's helped, or at least One Life to Live, so I'm sure that's helped with character development and knowing what things to do and what things not to do, so.
Right. True. Yeah, I loved Robin Strasser too, Dorian. That was my favorite character on there.
Yeah, well, I love the nod that you did in one of the episodes to All My Children and One Life to Live, where they were canceled and everyone was mourning their loss, and Hillary B. Smith was the only one who didn't know what was going on, had never watched it, so that was a really good episode. So I hope people will check that one out, because that was a really, really good one. All the One Life to Live fans and All My Children fans will love that one. Yeah. So is seasons 1 and 2, are they still available on DVD?
Yes, I have season 1 and 2 on DVD.
Yeah.
When we go for another Kickstarter, after we get some other stuff done, we will go ahead and have DVDs for sale, for pledges and stuff once we get to that point. But it won't be for a little bit right now, because I've got my hands in some other pies right now.
It's very understandable. I'm sure you're very, very busy. Well, I know a lot of the web series, they're doing like the multimedia platform thing where some of their characters are on Twitter and Facebook and that sort of thing. Had you ever thought about doing that for a web series?
No, I haven't. No, I didn't. I didn't think about that. Now you're stumping me. No.
No. Well, not that many people, I think, would devote that much time to one show, so that would be a lot of work to make sure that you kept it up to date and all the characters were present on social media, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's a whole other, it's like having a whole other show out there, I would think.
Right. Yeah, and I don't get very much sleep now, so probably not.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, you're like, you're producing, you're writing, you're directing, you're casting, you're doing all these different things, so, and then, you're having to write other things at the same time, so.
Right.
Yeah, I would imagine you're not getting a lot of sleep. Well, being involved in this online world, you've been doing the web series thing for a while, and being a fan of One Life to Live, and they did the online version of that for a while, and unfortunately it didn't succeed. So, do you think there's anything they could have done differently to kind of make that more successful?
A part of me thinks maybe they should have spoken to a few people that been able to keep a web series in a budget. I think what happened with Prospect Park is that they were doing the show like it was on ABC, and it cost a lot of money because in the unions and everything. I think they needed to cut the budget. I know cutting the show to a half-hour show, of course, scales back some of your budget. but
yeah, not enough.
But not enough, unfortunately, and I think that's where it kind of failed in that respect.
Yeah.
They were ambitious with it. I think they wanted to do it.
Yeah,
And it's
it was a
unfortunate.
good show online, I thought. I mean, I know that they cut the cast down, but in a lot of ways that worked because there wasn't like, too many things going on at once. But
Right.
I agree with you though. I think that they tried to make it just like it was on a network and didn't take into account the fact that they were using a different medium and
Right.
it was new to a lot of people. So and very little promotion. I mean, there was some promotion on television, but not like there is with a network show. So it's a shame that it couldn't work though, because I think that they were doing a really good job with the storylines and that sort of thing, and the characters were still the same, and yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people get scared too, as far as you don't have to watch it on your computer. If you have a TV, or you can make your TV smart and you can watch it on your TV, and I think I think it would have been cute if they would have done like a little exercise video of this is how you can watch One Life to Live on your TV opposed to not your computer, because you're targeting an older generation that also is not as hip and is the hangout for Google. So I mean, I think if they would have educated people maybe more about it, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
And I think
so
could have been a little clever little thing they could have done and shown it,
Yeah.
And that might have helped.
That would have been a good idea. I know that when I was posting stuff about it, I was trying to promote it as much as I possibly could because I knew that there was a chance that people were not going to watch it when it came on online, and I was trying to promote it and all my children at the same time, and people just kept saying, well, I don't want to watch on my computer, so I would try to tell individual people, like, you don't have to exactly watch it on your computer. If you have Hulu and you have like an Apple TV or one of those Roku boxes or whatever, then you can watch it that way. And it just didn't translate for some reason, and it's very difficult for only a handful of people to be out there saying that, oh, you need to watch it this way and this is how you can do it, and you don't have to get your computer out. So yeah, it's like you said, they were targeting an older generation, and those generations do not watch as much online TV as the younger generations do. So it was just timing was off and wasn't enough.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate.
Despite the best efforts, but yeah, it's. So what did you think about some of the characters coming over to General Hospital?
I wouldn't watch it. I don't watch any more soaps. I can't invest. I don't. I think my heart broke when One Life to Live was canceled. Since when I was young, I saved all my babysitting money and bought my first VCR. And so when I went to school, I could record One Life to Live, so I'd never miss an episode. So I mean, my love affair for that show was going on for a very long time, and I just was too disheartened to actually invest any more time in something else again like that.
Well, unfortunately, their characters were not on there very long because there was legal issues about, well, we can't do this because ABC owns, or Prospect Park owns the characters now. So, there was a whole big thing about that. So, unfortunately, that didn't last very long. But it was pretty neat to kind of see a little crossover thing. Not the first time that's happened with a canceled soap, but, if you're a fan of One Life to Live, I think people really like that.
Right. I think, because whether was it Todd's character, Blair, and Star's character went over there or something? Right?
Yeah.
And John McBain, right, okay.
Yeah. And then they brought all of them back as different characters. So it was kind of weird. It was like the same faces, and then you had to be like, okay, well, they're not them anymore. Star is now Kiki, and John McBain is now, they did like the whole vampire thing. I don't know if you watched Port Charles when it was on, but they brought Michael Easton on, and he was like the vampire from Port Charles, and it got a little messy after a while, so you really had to, just kind of tune out some of that stuff. So, so you have created, and it's been going on for a couple of years now, a web series event for fans. So tell me a little bit about that and why it was important for you to create that.
The hottest hell, it was Steve Silverman and I came together. It was really important to bring these shows together as a community because it's so important to support each other, and so we want to bring all these shows together and then bring the fans and just have a really relaxing time where you get to hang out. There's no lines for photo ops or autographs. It was just very open. And it was really, you know what, it was really fun. And the Riviera in Palm Springs was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was like a big love fest. And I mean, I know that sounds, it just is really important that we all just stick together. It just felt so good to have all these shows together and they're just supporting each other and having a great time together.
Yeah. Well, that's what I keep hearing about the web community. It's just like one big family. Everyone wants to support and help each other because, you know, you are breaking new ground and this is new territory still. I mean, even though it's been going on for several years now, we're still learning how to make successful shows and successful entertainment on the web. So, yeah, I agree. I think that is important to have events like that to kind of keep everyone's name out there and sort of network with the fans and that sort of thing. So,
yeah, it was fun.
Good for you for doing that. So.
Yeah, people came, which was even nicer.
Right, exactly. Of course.
We didn't just have 5 people, so we did okay.
Yeah. Let's see here. What else was I going to ask you? I've got ahead of myself a little bit. That might be it. We may have already covered everything, Julie. I can't believe it. So, okay, I know that you're writing this pilot now. Do you think that you'll do another web series at some point? Is that something you would like to do?
You know, I'm not going to say no. I don't say no to anything. That's my dog barking.
Right. Well,
my dog is playing. My dog and cat are playing in the room right now. Okay.
Nicely.
I don't say no to anything because, you know, when opportunities present itself and things work out, you know, you just keep moving forward. So I've learned to say yes to a lot of things opposed to no. So you never know what the future holds.
Well, I can imagine how much work it is to pull a web series together when you're not making much money, if any, and you're having to do pretty much all of it just with a small crew. So hats off to you for making such a great show.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Having the actors and crew, it was great. I mean, the actors all are so fabulous, and we're one big family when we get together, and we buckle up and get it done, and we laugh a lot, and that's
it seemed like a fun set.
Have a good time. We did. We have a lot of fun with each other, a lot of jokes going around, and and you know, and then we don't see each other anymore for a while, and we're like, oh, but you know, when you really love what you're doing and everyone's loving what they're doing, the crew's happy, the actors happy, everyone's happy. It's just you can't make that up. It just if you feel it, you'll feel the energy and the charisma in the show come through.
Well, it seemed like everyone was having fun with their characters and having fun with each other. So, you know, and you can tell that as an audience member. You can tell that when you watch a show and someone's having fun with their characters and getting along with everybody in the cast and that sort of thing. So it's really nice to see that. And I think that that's part of what makes a show successful. So.
Yeah, we all like each other.
Yeah. That's good. So, you know, you said earlier that you're doing a lot of writing and that, you know, you're constantly writing, trying to keep things out there. So is there something that inspires you to write? And do you have a typical regimen that you follow to do your writing? You like to listen to music or?
I usually have a theme song. There's a theme song to whatever I'm writing, especially an episode. This new project is actually not my creation, so I came aboard as the writer with her, but it's story by together, and it's her stories as a golf pro of everything she's gone through working for a country club, so we're working on that right now, and the pilot's out there, and we're getting some nice feedback. You know what's interesting when you're writing a character for me, and when I speak for myself, they talk
Hmm.
to you. They do. They
Yeah.
just start telling you what they want to say. They decide at 3 o'clock in the morning they want to
Yeah.
tell you what they want to
I keep
say. So
hearing that over and over
I have
again.
my phone. I'll just talk into it.
Yeah.
hmm They do. It writes itself almost. You can guide it just as
Yeah.
well as the actor. When I hand over the pages to them, they breathe that wonderful life into the character and make it real. So
Yeah.
it's such an interesting process as a writer, getting it done and then handing it off to the actor and then watch it come to
Watch
life
it come to
and
life. Yeah.
and the
I,
interesting decisions that they make. Because sometimes I'm
right.
so caught up in my own mind, I see it a certain way, and then the actor gets a hold of it, and I'm like, that was better than what I had in my head. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really wonderful.
And I'm sure in turn watching those performances inspires you to write even more. So that's a good thing.
I love writing for women. I just think it's so important. I don't care what age any woman is. They want to feel desirable. They want to feel sexy. They want
Right.
to feel attractive and beautiful and funny. And okay, they may have hang-ups here or whatever their childhood, because I write down to what happened to each character has their bio from when they were a kid to what their age is right now. And that's what
Yeah.
makes us all human.
Mhm.
And so it's just, and to pass that on, it's wonderful.
Well, you can tell that you like writing for women, and you had such an incredible cast of women on this show. I mean, you got so, I don't want to use the word lucky because you're such a wonderful writer, but I mean, you just really did get very lucky with this cast that you had.
They said yes, so that was nice.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
really nice. You
Yeah.
know, I
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
there was a character we were trying to cast. We had a hard time at one point, and then everything just kind of fell together. I think if you're supposed to do something in life, it comes together, and you find each
right.
other, and you make it happen. The art happens.
Right. Everything falls into place if it's what's meant to be.
hmm
So. Yeah,
hmm
well,
What are
I can't wait. I hope that you're, able to get back in and do the last two seasons, and I know that all of your fans are wanting that as well. I love the introduction of Christian LeBlanc as the brother, so that was
Oh,
fun. He's such a
really
good
nice
actor.
man. He's nominated for an Emmy, so that was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And
So
yeah,
speaking of the Emmys, did you watch them last year online?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not,
you didn't
unfortunately.
miss
I think
anything.
I did, I
You
heard,
did not.
I didn't
I'm sure you heard about
miss
it. It was a disaster.
it.
So. Yeah,
I
but
heard it was pretty bad. I think actually the ISAs are doing probably better than the Emmy Awards are doing.
yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, they're going to be on TV again this year, so hopefully, somebody is putting the show together who actually knows what they're doing. But last year, it was pretty rough. I mean, everyone was on Twitter like, "What am I watching?" So
Oh
yeah,
no.
you didn't miss anything. It was like, yeah, even the actors were kind of like, where am I and why am I doing this? So
Uh,
not exactly something you want to see if you want to keep the genre alive. So
and it's the Emmys, for
right,
God's sake.
it's a
I
big
mean,
deal. Yeah,
it's it doesn't matter if it's a daytime. It's a daytime, but yeah. I heard a little bit. I
yeah.
remember the Las
Well,
Vegas one.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty bad too. I had forgotten about that one. I think I blocked it out of my mind. Last year's just sort of like took over, and the Vegas one didn't seem so bad. But yeah, that one was pretty bad too. So I hope this one is not as bad as the last ones have been. Last year,
Ah,
it'd be pretty tough to compete with last year in that department. But yeah, it was pretty rough. So
right. Christian LeBlanc's nominated this year, and Jill Raoul's husband does lighting on Young and the Restless, and he's nominated for a daytime Emmy. So go
wow, that's
boys,
yeah. Um,
go boys.
yeah. Well, it's like you said, and it's a daytime Emmy. It's a big deal. A lot of our Oscar winners were started on soap operas, so it's not something that should be kind of taken lightly or made fun of or anything.
True, right?
Right.
How much did you love? Did you like the Oscars this year?
Yes, I did, actually. Yeah. It was the first time I had watched in a while. I was disappointed that Michael Keaton didn't win because I was rooting for him. But you know, it was a pretty good telecast, I thought. I think that they're having trouble finding just the right host. You know, they keep going through all these hosts and they can't quite get the exact right one that sets the right tone for the show. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. So I wasn't
love
just
Patricia
hating
Arquette.
it. Yeah, yeah, her speech was really good.
I think I fell in love with her that day. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
her speech. Yeah, I bet. Her speech was really good. There were a lot of good speeches though this year.
There were.
You know, sometimes you watch and it's like, you know, I like to watch it on the DVR. That way I don't have to sit through anything I don't want to sit through. But yeah, I don't even think that I fast forwarded through anything this year. So yeah, it was really good. Well, is there anything that you would like to add before we go? Google is driving me crazy right now, telling me I need to upgrade something, and I don't know what it is, but they're very insistent that I do it right now.
Okay, no problem, no problem. No, I think thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Well, absolutely, thank you for coming. I know that you're very busy, and I'm sorry that it took this long to get you on here. It shouldn't have. But, you know, hopefully you can come back the next time you have something that you want to promote. I'd be more than happy to have you.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So, okay, well, just keep me updated on everything and send me an email or a tweet or something and let me know what's going on.
You got it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Good night.
Bye.